can't solve your financial problems with the same kind of thinking that caused them. These words will change your reality because poverty can't survive in a dough chaser's mentality.
The beat majors.
So to all my dough chasers, it's time to get this party started now.
I like it.
With your host, Jason White.
Yo, what's up, Dough Chasers? This is Dough Chaser TV, and I'm your host, Jason White, CEO and founder of Witness Riches, where we help people improve their finances and massively boost their credit scores. This evening, we're going to be talking about 5 things you need to know about your credit. And last week, it was telling. Some of you were unaware of these 5 things, and because so, I'm pretty sure that's one huge reason why your credit is not where you want it to be. But I'm going to break it down to you. Today's going to be an educational session. So make sure you get a pen, some paper, and get prepared to take some notes because I'm about to drop some bombs on you. Okay. So as you come in, let me know who you are, where you're from. Please like this video, share it on your news feed, share it with your friends and family, send this, copy the link, text it to your friends who need this information. We're talking about 5 things you need to know about your credit, okay? Jason, what are those 5 things that you're talking about? I am speaking of the 5 components of a credit score. How many of you know that? If you know what the 5 components are of a credit score, type 1. If you don't, type 2. That'll let me know how tough I need to be on you tonight, all right? If you know the 5 components, type 1. If you don't, type 2. I'm going to break it down, and basically through these 5 components, you're going to understand what you need to do to improve those areas so that your credit score can go like this. Go to the next level, all right? So some of you who are not aware of what we do, we offer a credit repair service called the 700 Club. And in this program, we help our clients remove negative items from their credit report. And we also focus a lot of our energy on educating them on credit building, okay? And basically, credit building is all about building upon your foundation. Credit repair is all about solidifying the foundation, removing negative items that are hurting your foundation, and credit building is all about building something nice upon that so your credit score can go to the next level, okay? So if you are not aware of the 5 components, type 2. If you know the 5 components, type 1, all right? But we're about to break this down for you really quick. As you come in, let me know who you are, where you're from, share this video, like it, support. All right, so 5 components. Okay, comps. That means components, all right? So when you are looking at your credit, okay, under the FICO is what 90% of lenders use when it comes time to figure out if you are credit worthy for either a credit card, a new car, a house, a line of credit, anything, okay? 90% of lenders are using the FICO algorithm, okay? They're using the FICO credit score. And these 5 components are connected to the FICO. And once you learn these 5 components and you begin to positively influence these 5 components, your FICO will ultimately improve because so, all right? So this is under the FICO. The lowest score you can have is a 300. Okay, the lowest credit score you can have is a 300. If you walking around with a 250 credit score, that's not your real credit score, okay? I need you to invest in some credit monitoring, okay? Because obviously what you got isn't really helping you. The highest credit score you can have is an 850. Okay, so if we were to do 850 minus 300, that means that we have 550 points that we can actually influence through these 5 components. So if you're one of those people watching this evening saying, Jason, I don't know why you're wasting your time. All you have to do to improve your credit score is pay your bills on time. You'll have a 700. You'll have a great credit score. I'm going to dispel that myth for you this evening because obviously you don't know what the hell you're talking about. The first component of your credit score is payment history. This is basically your ability to pay your bills on time. When you are granted a line of credit, the creditor, at the end of the day, all they want you to do is keep your commitment. Hey, we're going to give you this $10,000 loan. At the end of the day, all we need you to do is pay us $500 a month over the next 48 months. You do that, we're good. This is 35% of your credit score. 35%, okay? All you have to do to impact this component is pay your bills on time. You do that, you just taking advantage of 35% of the points that you could be up. 35%. Huge. Huge. When you're late, that negatively impacts your payment history, okay? We want to make sure that our payment history is stellar. And if it's not stellar, we want to begin to implement ideas and activities that's going to improve our payment history. Okay, this is huge, but it's not enough. And I'll share with you why soon. The second component of your credit score is, guess what? Credit utilization. Wait, Jason, you're telling me that in order to improve my credit, I have to have a credit card? You're damn right. Yes, in order for you to improve your credit, you need a credit card. If you don't believe in credit cards, then you don't plan on having a 700 credit score because it's impossible without it. And I'll share with you why soon. Credit utilization, the second component of your credit score. %30 of your credit score. Okay, are you with me so far? Type 1 if you're understanding. Type 2 if you're not understanding where I'm coming from. As you come in, let me know who you are and where you're from. I see we got Pontiac in the house. We got Belleville, Illinois in the house. Let me see. We got New York, Philadelphia, Lexington, North Carolina, California, Texas. How y'all doing this evening? Okay. 2 components so far. Okay. Payment history, credit utilization. As you can see, these 2 components impact your credit the most. Together, that is 65% of your credit score. Your ability to pay your bills on time, and also your ability to have credit cards and manage them responsibly. Okay. Credit cards is not a one and done. Credit cards, they can last on your credit forever, right? And because so, they impact your credit so much because a credit card you can have for 25, 30, 40, 50 years. You know, a car note, 5, 6 years is done. So the credit utilization, we want to make sure that we never exceed more than 30% of our credit utilization. Jason, I'm brand new to this. Can you understand? Can you explain the credit utilization part for me real quick? Okay. So let's say that you have 2 credit cards, okay? Altogether, your limits, you have a $500 limit on one credit card and you have another $500 limit. Altogether, that's $1,000 limit, okay? $1,000 limit, okay? If you have one of those credit cards, if they're maxed out at $500 and one is at a 0 balance, what they're going to look at is they're going to compare your balance to the limit, okay? 500 divided by 1,000, that will put you at what? A 50% credit utilization. That's a no-no. Remember, we want that to be under 30%. So how do you lower your credit utilization? Two ways. Either you lower the balance or you raise the limit. And unfortunately, one you have direct control over. The second, they're going to bless you with the second part, okay? So in this scenario, we have to lower our credit card balance, and we want to get that under $300. That'll get us a credit utilization percentage under 30%, 30% and under, okay? Anything higher than that begins to hurt your credit. The lower you get your credit utilization, the more your credit score improves. Pay your bills on time, keep low credit utilization. 65% of your score so far. But wait, there's 3 more components. This was my question last week. I said, what is the component of your credit score that impacts your credit by 15%? No one could answer this. This is actually the the third component of your credit score. This is length of history. How long have you been managing debt? Okay, it's a credit score. They want to know, are you paying your bills on time? Are you maintaining low credit utilization? Do you have experience managing debt? Okay, the longer your experience is with managing your debt, the more that improves your credit. Okay, but it caps out at 15%. This is one reason why I say don't close your credit cards, because this is impacting that component. If you close your credit cards, it no longer impacts that component. It stops. Okay? We want to continue to grow that. Don't close your credit cards. Keep those open so that you can build a long history. Okay? The fourth component of your credit is credit file mix. These are the different kind of accounts you can have on your credit report, okay? We have installments. These are student loans, mortgages, car notes. What's another example? No, that's collection. Let me see. Name another installment for me, okay? All installments, all right? And then revolving accounts. These are bank line of credits, credit cards, secure cards, okay? So those are 2 different kind of accounts that you can have on your credit report. And then you'll also see, sometimes what we call open accounts. These are the charge cards. There's no limit. You hear myself and Jay-Z talk about this all the time. The black cards, I'm just playing. I don't got a black card. Anyway, some people have these cards, okay? And there's no limit. And at the end of the month, you have to pay that balance in full. Also with a utility bill, right? There's the balance that you have to pay, and your job is to pay that balance in full. And if you don't pay that balance in full, that means it's late, and that can be reported on your credit report. You don't see utility bills reporting everywhere, but some areas they do. Now you know. So the goal for the file mix is to have a good, diverse file mix, okay? And I usually recommend that you have 4 credit cards and at least 1 installment, okay? Now you can have more installments. You can have 5 installments. But at the end of the day, you want to have at least 4 credit cards. That will give you a good mix, okay? This is 10% of your credit score, 10%. So if you are someone, all you have on your credit report are student loans, a car note, if that's all you have on your credit report, you do not have a good mix. Okay? For one, you're missing out on credit utilization, 30% of your credit score. And then 2, because you don't have a good mix, you're not maximizing that 10%. You don't have a good mix, you're not maximizing that 10%. You feel me? Okay? It's all about strategy, okay? The more you begin to impact these components with strategy, the more that credit score improves. All right? 4 components so far. The last component of your credit score are inquiries, okay? Some of you may call these inquiries. Some may call these inquiries. I don't care what you call them, okay? This is 10% of your credit score. Jason, what is an inquiry? Okay? An inquiry is when you, the consumer, is trying to do business with the creditor, and in order for them to see if you are credit worthy, they pull your credit report. So whenever you're looking to get a line of credit with a bank, you're looking to buy a new car, you're looking to buy a new house, you're looking to get a credit card, whatever the situation is, they have to pull your credit report, okay? Now there are hard inquiries and then there are soft inquiries. Hard inquiries is when you're looking to get a line of credit. They have to pull your credit report. A soft inquiry is when you are with a credit card company already and they say, in order for us to see if we can increase your credit line, we have to look at your credit report really quick, but it won't affect your credit. That's a soft inquiry. That does not impact this, okay? Hard inquiries impact your inquiry component, 10% of your credit score, okay? So let's do some math really quick, okay? All of my math geeks, stand up. I need your calculator, buddy. Okay. Actually, I don't. I'm sorry. I know this. When you've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it, the numbers begin to get stuck in your head, okay? I'm also good at math too, for the most part. Depends on how many zeros are in it. Okay, so we have 550 points that we can influence, okay? I already broke that down to you. If payment history is 35% of your credit score, all you have to do is do 35% and multiply that by 550. That lets you know in the number area how much that actually impacts that credit score. So 35% of your credit score, payment history actually impacts your credit score 192.5 points. So for those of you who just believe that, Jason, all we have to do is pay our bills on time and that'll improve our credit, we'll have great credit. Let's break this down really quick. Really quick, okay? If you were to start at a fresh 300 credit score and all you did was pay your bills on time and you maximize your payment history, 192.5 points. Do that math for me. What's 300 plus 192.5? Okay, you shouldn't need too much time. $492.5 points. Last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. They call me residue. I leave blow on these beats. Last time I checked, 492.5 points sucked. That's not a good credit score. So if anybody tells you that all you need to do is pay your bills on time, tell them to shut up. Why? Because Jason White says so. Okay, I'm just playing. Okay, but no, seriously, paying your bills on time is not enough. We just did the calculation, all right? You also need to impact these other components. Credit utilization, 30% of your credit score. 30% times 550, that's 165 points. 15% of your credit score, that's 92.5 points. Or is that 97? Damn it. All right. I just played myself. 92.5 points. 10% of your credit score, 55 points. And then 10%, of course, another 55 points. If you were to do the math that I just broke down for you, okay, that's going to add all the way up to 550 points. If you are someone who says, hey, Jason, you know what? I'm going to do all this, but I still don't believe in getting credit cards. Is that enough? Let's do the math. 492 and a half plus 92 and a half, okay? Length of history. We're going to do all these components, but the credit utilization. If I'm correct, that's 680. We just pulled out our calculator. I thought I was smart, but hey. Okay. So this is, drum roll please, $695 points. Give or take. If we made a mistake, we made a mistake. I apologize. But it's not 700. Okay? So if you are someone who wants to get the best interest rates, you're going to need that credit utilization. That's the only way you're going to get to a 850 credit score. The only way. And as you can see, these are the 5 components of a credit score. Now, we begin to influence these components positively, pay our bills on time, maintain low credit utilization, keep our accounts as long open as long as possible, have a good file mix. Inquiries, people, it irks my nerves sometimes because people will continue to see if they can get approved for lines of credit, but they're not doing anything to improve their credit, right? Hey, man, I just got denied 10 times in a row. Maybe the 11th time is the one. No. And by you doing that, you're missing out on 55 easy points you could be up. Easy, okay? So when you're looking to apply for something, do your research. Only apply for accounts that you know you're going to get approved for, okay? One strategy is to figure out what all 3 of your credit scores are. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Figure out what they are, okay? And then begin to search for creditors that only pull from your best credit scores, okay? If you're trying to get a Capital One, do research. Who do you pull my credit report from? TransUnion, Experian, okay? So when you look to get a Capital One card, you better make sure that your TransUnion and Experian credit score is good. Otherwise, if it's bad, you just wasted an inquiry. You just hurt your credit, okay? So we need to positively influence all of these components, and then that will help you build your credit and take your credit to the next level. And it's the same way when it comes to repairing your credit. If you're trying to remove negatives from your credit report, would it be smart to remove an account that has 100% payment history? No. But Jason, I have a high balance on it. Is it impacting your credit utilization? If it's an installment account, the balance doesn't matter. So not only are you removing an account that has 100% payment history, but you think it's hurting your credit utilization, but in reality, it's not even being accounted into that number. You're playing yourself, okay? Jason, I got a credit card. It has 1 late payment from 5 years ago, but the credit utilization is under 5%. Should I remove it? Nah. Keep that account open. Instead of removing it, how about we send a goodwill letter to the creditor and ask that they remove that 1 late payment? That way we can still have that positive account with the credit utilization, and we keep it open. It still builds our length of history. Jason, I have these collection accounts. Should I remove them? How old are they? Oh, they occurred last month. Definitely. Jason, I have this charge off from 20 years ago. Should I remove it? I don't know, bruh. Why do you say that? Because it's impacting that length of history. If you remove it, it may hurt it. Sometimes we don't recommend that you remove all the negatives. What did you say, Jason? Sometimes we don't recommend that you remove them. That's why sometimes we don't recommend that you pay all your charge-offs. If the goal is to improve your credit, be careful, because if it's an old charge-off and you pay it, it's going to upgrade to a paid charge-off, and that paid charge-off is going to be a more recent derogatory, and a more recent derogatory drops your credit score. Be careful. I'm just trying to, share some information with you all. But let me see who we got here. Let me answer some questions. Hopefully this information has been helpful so far. If it has been helpful to you, please do me a favor. Like this video, share it with your friends and family, follow the page, subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. It lets me know that you're appreciating our information and it's relevant to your personal situation. Okay, let me see here. Okay, Madeline asks, should you pay the full balance of the payment? Are we talking about credit cards? Definitely pay that full balance. Ricky Smith said, how many credit cards is good to have? How many credit cards should I have, basically? At least 4. At least 4 credit cards. Earl James, store credit cards? I wouldn't recommend store credit cards only because sometimes they don't report to all 3 credit bureaus. And at the end of the day, if you're going to waste the inquiry, why waste it on an account that's not even going to maximize all 3 of your credit scores? Okay? Lakeisha Davidson says, why don't all 3 credit bureaus have the same information? This is how I want you to think it, okay? Think about it. Credit bureaus are a private company, okay? And their client is not you. See, we think it's us, but it's not us. We're not paying them. Guess who's paying them? Companies are paying them. They're paying them for information about you, okay? And sometimes companies, they don't need all 3 credit bureaus to get information from. They may need 1 or 2. 1 or 2 tells them enough information. And if that's the case, that means they're not reporting information about you to all 3 credit bureaus. So that's why you don't see all of the same information, because they're not obligated to report to any credit bureaus if they don't want to. That's the decision that they choose to make. And they may not have a relationship with all 3 credit bureaus. So that's why you'll see different information on different credit bureaus, and your credit score, man, I got a 720. Man, I got a 680. Man, why I got a 560 with Equifax? What's going on? Equifax ain't, and that's not really the case. It's just that, whatever company reported it, they may not have had that relationship with other credit bureaus. Let me see here. Okay, Marquise Collins. I have a card that's $500 and I piggyback on my grandmother, which gave me a big increase thanks to you. Hey, congratulations. Piggybacking on family members who have long history and a great credit score is always a great idea. If you know someone in your family that is managing their finances well, let them know your story. Let them know what you're trying to do. Piggyback off their success. Especially if it's your grandma. Grandma's always trying to look out. She's a brick house. That's funny. I don't understand what you're saying about personal loans. Ask that question for me and clear it up for me, please. Do you know about a B file? No, I do not. I'm sorry. If you could be more specific for me, I can do some research. Jason is disputing all hard inquiries off of your credit report. What is the best route to achieve this medium? um, dispute the inquiry, and also dispute the inquiry with the credit bureau, and also dispute it directly with the creditor. Okay, and request that they provide you with information that proves that you requested a line of credit with their company. If they can't prove it, what do I always say? They must remove it. John Kerry, how does credit age work? What do letters look for there? So credit age, length of history, is basically how long you have experience with managing debt. Okay, you want to keep accounts open as long as possible. Sometimes you may be new to the credit game. Okay, that means that whatever line of credit that you do open, expect to keep it open for a while. Okay, if you don't have any credit cards, try to open up a credit card as soon as possible, because that's the kind of account that will give you longer history over time. Because as long as you pay the bill on time, you maintain low credit utilization, it will remain open. But that's 15% of your credit score. I'm working towards getting a house. Does getting more installments help towards that? Well, look at the criteria that they're going to ask for when you're looking to buy a house. They're going to look at your credit. They're going to look at your income. They're going to look at your debt to income. They're going to look at your employment. Okay? They're going to look at these factors. Okay? One of the factors that people forget about is the debt to income. By you getting more installments on your credit report, you're basically increasing your obligation. Typically, creditors don't want to see a debt to income ratio above 40%. So with you opening up new installments, basically you're adding new monthly obligations onto your credit report. No, you do not need to add more installments. Okay? Have one or two because you want a good mix. But again, 4 credit cards to 1 installment is considered a good mix. What you need are the credit cards, because you can have 4 credit cards open and not have a balance. And every month they're going to report a positive payment on your credit report. So it's basically you're getting a, what do they call that? You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. How about that? Rest in peace to the birds. Is it hard to get the LVNV off your credit report? It depends on what the strategy is. Send a debt validation to the company directly, dispute it with the credit bureaus, and that will help get the ball rolling in that area. Personal loans, are those considered installments? Yes, personal loans are considered installments because they give you a lump sum. Okay, let's say you get $3,500, and their agreement is you're going to pay us in 48 installment payments. And once you satisfy those 48 installment payments, the loan is complete. Okay, so basically you have installments within that loan. Yes, that is definitely considered an installment loan. Okay. Des Jackson asks, can a company report a debt closed and report the same account as old and open? That is called a duplicate account, and that is in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act because it's hurting your creditworthiness. So you can dispute that and get it deleted off your credit report. Can they do that? No. They must have made an error. However, errors do happen. I would dispute that. The thing is, though, when you are looking to remove negative information off your credit report, just because you have 2 accounts and they're the same accounts doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when one of those accounts have derogatory information. That's when it's bad. But if there's no derogatory information attached to those accounts and they gave you 2 of them, keep the payment history. That's helping you 99% of the time. The only time it's not helping you is if it's 2 brand new accounts and they hurt your length of history. But that's a rarity, so don't worry about that too much. Okay. But yeah, let's do a quick shout out. We got Jarrell King in the house, David Tuno, EJ, Mr. Stokes, Jason Van Hoos, Demetia. Let me see. We got Patrick Jackson, DJ Lady J TV, Thank Mercury, Marquise, The Real Bishop, She's a Brick, House, Nasty Nitty, Point to Point Transportation, they on the map, Sheila Pugh, Robert Little, John Corey, Gary Styles, CT. Man, welcome. I appreciate y'all. We got Dez Jackson, Madeline Valley, Lakeisha Davison, Earl James, Kendrick, Ricky Smith, Nicole McClure. I like that last name, McClure. McClure. Roy Beverly, Keith Murray. We got a lot of famous people in the house. I saw Kendrick Lamar, Keith Murray in the house, Angel Sawyer, my wife, Mrs. Riches, Mrs. White. I want to change my last name to Riches though. Type 1 if I should do it. Yeah, you should definitely challenge that, Dez. Definitely challenge that. Marquis said, I had an old Sprint bill that was due to fall off, and something popped up. Call the recovery account. What's that? So, yeah, Sprint bill, they sold it to a debt collector, and now it's showing up as Sprint, and then it's also showing up as the recovery account. Definitely challenge that, bro. Definitely. Okay? So, hopefully this information has been helpful. If so, please spread the love. I would definitely appreciate that. Like this video. Share this on your news feed. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the page. If you are someone who is tired of not seeing the progress that you want with your credit and is blocking your success, don't feel defeated. Bad credit isn't permanent. We at Witness Riches help our clients take their credit to the next level, and we get them on the right path to the 700 Club. If you are someone who needs help, want help, and you don't mind working with us, we would love to serve you, okay? What we have going on this month is, every month actually, we have specials where we make it easy for you to get started in our program. This month, for the first 30 days, okay, and this is subject to change, okay, but for the first 30 days, you can start our credit repair program for just $19.99. Start your first 30 days for just $19.99. If you are someone who wants help and you want to take advantage of that special, visit our website, the700clubcreditrepair.com. We will provide that information in the comment area. But visit the700clubcreditrepair.com to learn more about our program. And if it sounds like something that you can roll with, we want you to sign up today. All right. So I want to thank you all for your time. This Thursday, we're going to have another live Dough Chaser episode. So make sure you come around, get on our email list, and join us. Okay. And we're also going to have a giveaway. All right. So let me provide the information in the comment area really quick, and I will look forward to seeing you Thursday. I want to shout out my barber real quick because he got me looking crispy today. I'm shouting out to my barber, Tawan Gaston. If you're in Toledo, look him up. He'll take care of you. All right. So I will see you all Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our episode, our next episode of Dough Chaser TV. Again, if you're interested in working with us, feel free to click the link associated to this video. Sign up for our credit repair today. Again, my name is Jason White. Thank you all for your time. I love you, and I'm out. Peace. Peace out, YouTube family.